Sorry, could I just... Okay. Hello, good afternoon, and welcome to Malahide Cricket Club, a sun-drenched Malahide Cricket Club. This is day 2 of the Hanley Energy IP Championship game between Leinster Lightning and the Northwest Warriors. Unfortunately, day 1 was a complete washout, but day 2, it's just glorious. Big appeal there from Simi Singh, bowling from the Dublin Road end. The umpire is unfazed. Earlier on today, the Northwest Warriors won the toss and elected to bat. Currently, they stand on 169 runs for the loss of 5 wickets. We're in the 52nd over. It's been a really good day's cricket thus far, and we're delighted to have you with us this afternoon. I'm also delighted to have in the commentary box Ian McGregor. Of course, Ian is a selector with the Irish men's team and also head coach of the Northwest Warriors. And I say a very good afternoon to you, Ian.
Good afternoon, Heatley. Thank you very much for the invitation along.
Oh, it's a pleasure. Delighted to have you. So, give me your thoughts thus far on this game.
Obviously, losing a full day's play yesterday sort of puts a bigger emphasis on the initial stages of today's play. Ideally, I suppose we would like to be probably 3 wickets less than what we are, but we've made a fairly good recovery here with Orion Williams and young Graham Kennedy. So hopefully we'll be in a position to try and dictate how play moves forward.
I think I'm right in saying, Ian, that Graham Kennedy playing his first game for the Warriors?
He is indeed, and on his 17th birthday as well. So that's
a nice birthday present.
That's a nice occasion for Graham.
So, and
he's not doing himself any harm at the minute.
No, doing terribly well, and it's also a great occasion for Ballyspellin Cricket Club, and I hope many of them are with us this afternoon, and if you are, you're very welcome. It's good to have you. Peter Chase now bowling from the Castle end. In he comes, right arm over the wicket. Good, solid defensive, and Williams just pushes it to mid-on. Jack Tector at mid-on there. It's kind of weird mentioning your own son, I have to say.
Quite ironically enough, I was sitting talking to my own son earlier. He actually lives and works down here, so it was nice to catch up with him for a while.
Absolutely, of course it is. Lovely. Chase, good delivery, well played by Williams. So we've just talked a little bit about this game. I'm interested to get your thoughts on the entire series, and by that I mean the 20 over format, the 50 over format.
I think overall for me, the interprovincials in this new guise that it is has been a breath of fresh air for Irish cricket.
Good delivery from Chase there, just Williams looking to play towards mid-wicket. Straight through to the keeper, Lorcan Tucker.
Yeah, in terms of obviously where the international side are at present, and the influx of fixtures that they're going to be faced with, we obviously need some sort of intermediate ground where these players can challenge themselves. It's a big step from club cricket straight into the international scene.
And I suppose I can't help but talk of thus far the sort of dominance that Leinster have had in the Interpro series, obviously having won the T20 and the 50 over format. Do you see a changing of the guard at all, Ian? Do you see...
I suppose, having myself been involved since the inception of this current Interpro series, Leinster have always been the side that ourselves and potentially the Northern Knights aspire to. They've set the benchmark, and it's up to ourselves to try and reach those levels. I suppose in terms of for the competition itself, it's probably a necessity that there is some sort of change at the top, because I think the Leinster players themselves probably need continually to be challenged, and I would like to hope that's going to happen.
Well, certainly when I see the Warriors today with 3 or 4 under-19 players, that can't be but good.
Yeah, it's something that I think, going back to whenever the under-pros started, there was a decision that we as a union took, that we were looking at a 3-year plan rather than go and pick the older guys who, to be fair to them, are still performing week in, week out in Northwest cricket. But we just felt that it was time for us to have a change in the guard, if you like, and go with guys who we could invest in for the future. And that seems to have been the case. Some of the guys who we've picked and played have put their hands up and performed. Others maybe have found it a step too far, but it's something that we as a union certainly don't see changing. We're going to continue with giving the young guys a chance.
Singh now on to bowl. Colossal shot from
That's
Williams. Beautiful cricket shot. Not sure whether the owner of the white van agrees with my description of a beautiful cricket shot. Think I may have heard a little bit of a ricochet off the roof of the van there. So Mr. White Van, time to move it. Good shot that from Williams.
Fantastic shot from Marion. He's been in really good form for his club, Eglinton, in the Northwest League. I suppose reflecting the fact that Eglinton have 3 games left, and if they win the 3 games, they become league champions. So, and thankfully for us, he has carried that form into the last number of interprovincial games.
Simmy Singh, in he comes. Bowls again to Williams, just whips it off his hip, out to deep square leg. Should be 2, is 2. Well run. Nicely played. You're also, Ian, I mentioned at the resumption of the live stream, an Irish selector. Is that it's a job you've been doing for a number of years now? Is that something you... Another very fine shot from Williams there. Good over this for the Warriors. The Warriors moving on to 184 for 5. We're in the 53rd over. Williams moving on to 72. Good positive cricket on his part. Ian, yeah, I was talking about your role as an Irish selector, something you enjoy?
Yes, it's something that it came about as a result of Peter Gillespie stepping down. Peter was the previous Northwest selector. The opportunity arose, and I put my name forward, and as a result of that process, I became the selector. And yeah, it's something I really do enjoy. Although at times it's maybe not the easiest place to be, especially when things maybe don't go so well or certain people don't get picked. But I suppose it's all part and parcel of the
comes with the brief.
International cricket. It does,
absolutely, yeah. And I can't mention your role as a selector without mentioning the series against Pakistan. Obviously, we were washed out last Saturday, but last Thursday was disappointing.
It was very disappointing. I know that as a cricket fan, never mind a selector and a head coach, we all want to see Ireland playing more fixtures, and we want international cricket, and we believe that we do belong in amongst the full member teams. it's disappointing that when these opportunities come around that we just had a bad day. I think, Heatley. I'm not sure that we could really just call it anything other than that. And unfortunately, when we're not 100% on our game, a quality side like Pakistan, which they were, will make us pay.
Chase to Williams. Williams just getting up on his toes and pushing it out into the covers. No run. Peter Chase has had a good couple of months, Ian.
It's great to see Chaser back on a cricket pitch again. I think in terms of his own development, it's important that we get him exposure to the type of games that we played last Thursday. Yes, it would have been fantastic to have seen a game on Saturday that not only have given him an opportunity to perhaps put right the wrongs from Thursday, but the rest of the guys as well, because I've no doubt that they would have been hurting from that performance. But and going back to Peter, who has had his injury struggles and worries over the years, it's great to see him back and running in strong.
Yeah, I thought he was particularly impressive up in Stormont for the Afghan series.
He was getting back somewhere to near what people know as the old Peter Chase, running in hard, bowling quick and challenging batsmen. Obviously with Boyd out injured at the minute, pace bowling's not something that in Ireland that we're overly blessed with, and I know conditions here don't exactly help that either. So to see Peter back in running in hard, it's good for all Irish cricket.
Nicely played from Williams there, just tickled round the corner for two, fielded by Max Sorensen. It's a funny one, that, Ian. You just mentioned, as a country we're not particularly blessed with an array of mid-80 bowlers, and I suppose it's a question that's often posed to us in here. Why is that? And I find it hard to give a reason. I suppose if you look at a nation such as New Zealand at present, who have such a wonderful array of quicks, pretty similar in size to us. It's a hard one to answer, isn't it?
It is a hard one, and obviously, from my own experience, I've played the majority of my cricket up in the northwest, and general conditions wouldn't normally lend itself for bowlers to be running in and trying to bowl at 85 plus miles an hour, because the pitches just aren't conducive to that, and it sort of is possibly why we have at present a lot of sort of 80, 82 miles an hour bowlers tops, because they know themselves they're not getting value out of the pitches that they're actually playing on, Heatley. So it's that potentially may be the reason for it. I'm not just 100% sure.
I'm with Ian McGregor, head coach of the Northwest Warriors and an Irish selector. We're here on day 2 of the Leinster Lightning Northwest Warriors Hanley Energy IP Championship game. Unfortunately, day 1 was a total washout, but it's lovely to be here in Malahide. We talk about wickets, quality wicket here, Ian.
Absolutely. It would nearly make me want to put the pads on again, Heatley.
Gotta say hello to Philip Frost and all his crew who do such sterling work here.
I suppose the only benefit of the game on Saturday being washed out is it's now the pitch that our guys are able to take advantage of here today, so that's a bit of a blessing in disguise.
Remember, you can win a signed Interpro cricket bat. All as you have to do is retweet hashtag HanleyIPWin. Remember, terms and conditions apply, and the competition closes on the 25th of August 2016. And welcome back to a really lovely Malahide. The sun is out and the cricket is good. The Northwest Warriors earlier on today won the toss. They elected to bat, and having done so have moved on to 188 for 5. 55 overs have been bowled, and I'm delighted to have with me in the commentary box Ian McGregor, head coach Northwest Warriors, and of course an Irish selector. It's been a really busy season for Ireland, Ian. It's been fantastic to have Sri Lanka here, Pakistan here, Afghanistan here. We've a really important week next week.
We certainly do. I think it's back to business proper for the guys next week. Obviously, in terms of our plans, our future plans for Test cricket. And obviously, as everybody's aware, the Intercontinental Cup is our pathway to get there. So I know from speaking to some of the guys, they're disappointed, yes, at last week, but it's time to move on and get back down into the business for them.
And it's certainly a competition and a format in which we have really dominated over the last number of years.
We have. The guys have been able to respond to the 4-day format really, really well. I suppose we've had the benefit of the experience that the county guys bring to it, who are playing multi-day cricket on a more regular basis. I suppose none more so than Ned Joyce, who seems to have a very strong liking for that competition.
Absolutely, and talking of Ed Joyce, as many of you will be aware, the Joyce family, a great Merrion Cricket Club family, and I've got to mention the Bob Kerr Irish Senior Cup takes place this Saturday, one of the great days in Irish cricket. It takes place this Saturday in the Clontarf Cricket Club. Same finalists as last year. Waringstown, that powerhouse from the NCU region, playing another powerhouse in Merrion Cricket Club. It promises to be a terrific day. You going to give me a winner?
Oh, I think as a Northwest man, I'm quite entitled to sit on the fence for that one, Heatley. It's a very difficult one to call that, as you say, two powerhouse teams in Irish club cricket. I was talking to one of the Leinster supporters just not long before we came on air, and I was talking to him, and with the fact that the Merrion club, their league position sort of belies the history and the strength of them, and here we are, they're playing an All-Ireland club final, yet seem to have league worries still hanging over their head.
Well, I suppose it's a massive weekend for Merrion. They've a league game on Friday evening against Dublin YMCA. They have the All-Ireland on Saturday, and they're back into the league on Sunday. So even if they are successful on Saturday, there's no time to rest on their laurels, or they've got to turn up again on Sunday, as you say. But you know, the one thing, Ian, I can't remember a time when Leinster League Division 1 has been not just as competitive but as strong as it is right now. It's a quality league. It
is, and I think if you look at both the All-Ireland Cups, both the National Cup, which again I believe the finals on Sunday at Clontarf again.
Yes, and got to mention just the two teams. That's Laois Cricket Club, and they play Rush Cricket Club. And again, that promises to be another terrific game of cricket. Laois Cricket Club having won back-to-back Senior 2 Cup finals. And they'll go into this great occasion full of confidence. And Rush have a tremendous record in the National Cup, Ian, and yet they're bottom of the league in Division 2. It's back to the chestnut that we were just talking about.
Very much so, very much so. It's a strange scenario, that. And obviously, I was talking to one of Rush's fine young players, who's 12th man today for the Leinster Lightning, Stephen Doheny. So,
yeah, terrific young
and
cricketer.
I know he's really looking forward to Sunday's game. So that again should be a great game to watch.
Absolutely. In comes Singh to Kennedy. No single. Graham Kennedy, very young man, 17 years of age, I think, celebrating his birthday today, and we all wish him a really happy birthday, and he's doing himself no harm here at all. Batting very well on 22, Williams on 77, the Warriors on 189 for 5. We're in the 56th over. Will you get down to the Irish Senior Cup final, Ian, or you tied up on Saturday?
I won't, Heatley. Unfortunately, I'm involved as the head coach of Brigade Cricket Club. We ourselves have a fairly important league game against Eglinton. It's as we've explained to the players, the league games that we've got left. We've got 4 league games left, and it's a case of win 4 league games, win the league. So we've got 4 cup finals left to play.
And you're being quite modest because you also won a cup final.
We did indeed. Maybe not in the ideal circumstances. Last Sunday, the O'Neill's Ulster Cup final against Ardmore was won 3-2 on a bull out.
Yeah, but I suppose it's not the way you would like to win a cup, but it's another cup, and I'm sure the likes of Bertie Faulkner now will be thrilled with that result, and I hope that, I know Bertie is one of our avid followers on the live stream. I hope you're with us this afternoon, Bertie, and if you are, I'm sure you're enjoying really good cricket here in Malahide. Yeah,
I think it's due reward for Bertie, and also Roy Torrens, the former Ireland manager, who has thrown his weight behind Brigade Cricket Club yet again. Roy's a long time member and associate of Brigade Cricket Club, so he celebrated on Sunday evening along with the players.
Few men I know better able to celebrate than Big Roy.
I think Roy was still celebrating a lot longer than some of the players managed to.
And well deserved, may I add. Well deserved.
Very much so. This is a good partnership that's developing for the guys. Pushing up on towards 80 runs of a partnership. So I would have been hoping that partnership may have happened slightly earlier in the innings with some of our more senior players. But in terms of when it comes, I suppose as a head coach you can never complain when you get 2 batsmen who are settling in and developing that partnership.
Another beautiful 4 driven down the ground, down through mid-on by Williams. Batting beautifully here now, moving on to 85. The Warriors 197 for 5. Ian McGregor, my guest this afternoon, lead coach with the Northwest Warriors and Irish selector. Yeah, you got to be happy with this partnership.
Very much so, and obviously anybody who's watching the live stream and would look at the young left-handed batsman at the other end certainly wouldn't think that he's only just turned 17. The maturity and application that Graham's showing today certainly belies that young age, and on his debut I suppose he's fully justifying the selectors' faith that they've shown in him. So
I know he was away with the Irish under-17s. They've been on their travels the last 2 or 3 weeks. He's did very well.
He's had a busy 3 weeks, and I suppose it's also testimony to Graham's own fitness as well. He was in Scotland with the 17s. They then moved the following week to Worcester with the Irish 17s, and then domestically the Northwest under 17s had a tour to Sussex, which he again was part of and scored very, very heavily during. So he's certainly committed on the back of a bit of form.
Has he always been a Ballyspellin man? Has he played all his cricket there?
He has indeed, yeah. It's actually where the club that I started my own cricket, Healy, going back many, many years ago. So
isn't that great?
It's great to see someone from there.
Big appeal from Chase.
Representative scene.
Umpire David Bradley just returns the cap. Northwest Warriors 198 for 5. This is day 2 of the Hanley Energy IP Championship game between Leinster Lightning and Northwest Warriors. We got to say a huge thank you to All In Hanley Energy, tremendous sponsors of this Interpro series. Great cricket people, we thank them for their support. Change of bowling now from the Dublin Road end. On comes the vastly experienced George Dockrell. He's got 50 on his back. Nicely played by Williams. Beautifully played. That's another 4.
Controlled that sweep, lovely.
Yeah,
He'd be playing against the spin.
Yeah. How long has this is this Williams' first season in
No,
Northwest
this is
cricket?
Orian's second season.
The second season
in Northwest
okay.
cricket, yes.
Yeah.
He's one of 5 Jamaican overseas players playing in the Northwest League at present, and strangely enough, all 5 come from the same club.
Wow, isn't that fantastic?
It is.
Do you know the club?
It's the St Catherine's Club.
Okay.
We have one of them actually at our own club, Danza Hyatt, who is no stranger to Northwest cricket, having
we know
been
Danza
a
well.
professional. I think it was 9 years ago that he first came up to the Northwest.
Dockrell to Kennedy. Kennedy looking to give himself a bit of room to cut. Well taken by Tucker. Lovely to see 2 young boys there, Ian. Graham Kennedy, Lorcan Tucker. Congratulations to Lorcan. He's just been selected into the men's T20 squad. Yeah,
he has indeed, and fully justified in my opinion, Heatley.
Quality cricketer. Ian, I've seen lots of Lorcan down the years.
Very much so.
Cricketer.
I've spent a bit of time with the under-19 squad and seen a fair bit of Lorcan, and in terms of, I suppose, profiling our T20 players, Lorcan would fall under that remit. He's a guy who scores all around the pitch. He's what they call now a 360 player, so and really looking forward to see him perform up at Brady.
Absolutely, and well done to Lorcan, and of course comes some great cricketing family, Barry and Orla, his mum and dad, and Fiacre and Diarmid and Donica and Cleena. They all love their cricket, members of Pembroke Cricket Club, and they'll all be thrilled with that great news. Williams on strike. Williams on 91. It's pushed out into the covers. Eddie Richardson on cover duty this afternoon.
I think the way Orion has batted, and Graham to some degree in the last few overs, has potentially added that bit of impetus to the innings. Obviously, having lost those few wickets earlier on today, it slowed the game up slightly for us. So obviously it's something that now potentially we may have to factor in the fact that obviously losing a day's play is, we have a decision to make.
I was going to get on to that subject in just a minute.
I thought I would better bring it up before you did. So it does, and I suppose certainly for me as an experienced coach, when it comes to multi-day cricket, it's one of the sort of the nuances that you have to learn and develop. Actually, how do we set up a game, and in terms of looking to win it rather than just sit back and be content with a draw.
I think it's one of the beauties of 3-day cricket, though, Ian. You know, there are so many nuances involved in this format of the game.
Very much so. It's a format that seems to ebb and flow. And I think, as I try and keep stressing to our players, that no matter what, we're never really out of the game because of the time factor. There's always time that you can get yourself back into the game again.
It's one of the beauties of 3-day cricket. Umpire Bradley just seeking to get the side screen moved.
It seems to be a tactic that the majority of the Leinster bowlers have used today to our left-handers, where they have bowled both over and around the wicket.
Yeah, it's certainly been common practice thus far. In comes Peter Chase. Peter Chase of the home club here. A Malahide boy, born and bred, learnt his cricket here, plays his cricket here. Fine young prospect, both for Malahide, for Leinster Lightning, and of course for Ireland. Side screen requires moving yet again. We're on duty here. It's a lovely afternoon for those of you just joining us on the live stream, wherever you may be. It's great to have you in such numbers. We love to broadcast and bring you the cricket. Coming live from Malahide Cricket Club this afternoon. Thankfully, a sun-drenched Malahide Cricket Club. Ian McGregor, lead coach of the Warriors, is with me. He'll be getting a little anxious as Williams moves on to 93. Nicely played. Short ball, just pulled behind square for one.
I think Orian's been very measured in his approach to the game. Obviously aware that wickets were falling at the other end, and has seemed to time the innings very, very well. He's obviously decided that he's found a willing and able partner at the other end in Graham, and has given us the added impetus that the innings required. And I think, fingers crossed, that he'll go on to which would be a very, very well deserved century if he makes it.
Absolutely. Mind you, he's in the old dreaded nervous 90s, but he certainly hasn't looked nervous thus far. He is on strike. The bowler is George Dockrell. Nice crowd building here. We're in Malahide Cricket Club. He's played that shot well all day.
He has indeed. Just from speaking to some of our players, the guys who've already been out at the wicket, in terms of the spin bowlers, both Simi and George, they were saying that it's slow spin, so they're quite comfortable in staying on the back foot, and just as Ian has done there again, find the gap for another 2.
Looking for 2. Well run.
And has manipulated the ball about beautifully.
Williams moving on to 97. The Warriors into the 200s now. 210 for 5. We're in the 60th over. This is a 3-day game between Leinster Lightning and the Northwest Warriors, a Hanley Energy IP Championship game. Again, nicely worked from Williams, looking for 2. Will get an easy 2. Brings him on to 99. The Warriors move on to 212 for 5. Graham Kennedy on 23, and a very well-made 23, may I add. Dockrell looking to adjust the field, looking to exert a little bit of pressure. Bringing his field in. In comes Dockrell. Williams on strike. He's on 99. Big appeal from Dockrell, but umpire Azam Ali Beg just signals a leg bye to the scorers. Our scorers today, Helen Caird and Andrew Mooney, 2 very experienced scorers, and that's the end of the over. Williams will remain on strike, and Ian, I'm going to thank you very much indeed for your contribution this afternoon. I greatly appreciate you coming to have a chat to us, and hopefully we'll get another sunny day tomorrow, and hopefully you'll come and have a further chat with me.
Absolutely, no problem. Thank you very much for the invitation, Heatley.
Thanks, Ian. You're very kind. Ian McGregor there, lead coach with the Northwest Warriors. Change of bowling now from the Castle End. The Leinster Lightning skipper, John Anderson, limbering up here. And I want to say hello, good afternoon to Ian's opposite number. Good afternoon, Ted Williamson.
Afternoon, Heatley.
All well your end, I hope?
Always good. Always good.
Good.
We've lost a little bit of momentum here, certainly since lunch.
Anderson, in he comes. Williams looking to get a single, gets a single. Great round of applause. That is his 100. Terrific innings this. Accepting the applause from his teammates. The Northwest Warriors guys get to their feet, and rightly so. Williams 100 not out. It's been a good knock, Ted.
Yeah, he's done well. He's kind of he's bided his time at certain times, and kind of the tempo of his innings has been very good. He's also batted extremely well with young Kennedy, and Kennedy in his first match, who obviously would have been nervous, and he's kind of minded him and shepherded him a little bit until he's kind of grown, and he has grown. You can see visibly young Kennedy has grown in some confidence. So, but O'Rain has done really well, and I think we've helped him to a certain extent, if I'm being honest. We had a control going into lunch, and then for the first kind of 20 overs after lunch, they were going out over 5 and over, which in this format is excellence, obviously. But be interesting to see how Ando goes here. John is one of these guys who he's got a bit of a magic arm. He'll come on. I know John Mooney used him very well last year in a kind of a role where he'd come on, get a wicket, and take him off. And he does turn the ball, so it's they've fairness to the Northwest lads, they've done very well. They've grabbed a bit of control in the match, and interesting to see what they do now before or after tea.
Absolutely. In comes Anderson. Kennedy just pushing it wide of 45 for another single. The Warriors moving on to 217 now for the loss of 5. Williams 101. And that's the 100 partnership. Good delivery.
Yeah, that's the one I'm talking about. He'll bowl a couple of ones that are okay, and then he'll bowl this unplayable thing that just comes down and it'll get anybody out. And it depends on obviously how the batters adjust to that.
John Anderson, captain of course of the Leinster Lightning team, and a very important cog in the Merrion setup this weekend. Huge weekend for Merrion Cricket Club. Game Friday night against Dublin YMCA, an important league game. They've the All-Ireland final against Waringstown on Saturday, and then they're back into league action again on Sunday. So John will need all his cricketing nous about him.
Yeah, I think one of the key things obviously is you're involved in different environments, you're involved in different formats, and it's how you approach those environments in different ways. You know what I mean? So like you'd have a certain mindset going into batting this way. He's playing for Lightning, he's playing in an All-Ireland, he's playing in a different competition again the following day, and we all know he's one of the best batsmen in the country. With that comes expectation as well, and I think John has done very well over the season to manage that, including obviously the time where he was out with his injury, But yeah, I mean, geez, I tell you what, these guys, if you look at they'll have played nearly five days in a row, maybe 6 days in a row if they would have played yesterday. It's a good effort. Yeah,
absolutely. But dare I say it, it's what they love doing, Ted.
Absolutely, yeah.
Dockrell in from the Dublin Road end. Kennedy on strike. Half-hearted appeal. Umpire Azam Ali Beg remains unfazed. Incredible the difference 24 hours can make, Ted, in a weather context. This time yesterday it was brollies and rain max. Today we're shirt sleeves and lashing the factor 50 on.
Yeah, I think
kick on arrow.
Big opportunity there for Leinster Lightning. Stephen Doheney, today's 12th man, thought he'd done the work to get in underneath it.
I think he had done the work, and like Stephen has been one of the standout fielders, certainly in the under-19s this year, and one of the better ones around. Maybe just took it a little bit low from a technical point of view, but
I'm not quite sure whether, in terms of hand positioning, he was in two minds, I think, just for a split second. But unfortunately, that's all part of cricket, I'm afraid.
yeah, I think the important thing now is, I think what was impressive there actually was George's reaction, which was just kind of get on with it, and fielders feel bad enough sometimes when they drop a catch. It doesn't help when the bowler doesn't react too kindly to him, so I think that'll help Stephen.
Big moment in the game, that. Anderson continuing his spell from the castle end. Nice to see bodies dotted all around the ground.
Yeah, it certainly helps. It adds to it, doesn't it? I mean, going back to your original or point about the weather, I think you just get used to when you're playing cricket in Ireland to expect this kind of stuff, that you could have literally monsoons and then you have ridiculously blue skies and a warm day today. It's clear as well, obviously the wicket has flattened out quite a lot, which you always knew it was. I think this is the wicket that they were going to use for the second ODI against Pakistan, and talking to the groundsman beforehand, he had taken a lot of the grass off it at the request of Ireland before the ODI, the second ODI, so obviously it's going to be a good wicket,
Big appeal. Umpire Bradley says no. Graham Kennedy, 26 not out, doing ever so well on his debut for the Warriors. In comes Anderson. Nicely bowled. Just tucked around the corner. It's another single to the total. 2-2-3 for 5 now.
Just going back to Kennedy, I suppose, Heatley, I think what's been impressive about him is his temperament. I mean, he looks quite an uncomplicated batsman, and he obviously, for a youngster, seems to know his game quite well. Know his limitations, and he's sticking to them. There's been the odd time where, when the ball's out around 5th or 6th stump, where he's thrown his hands at it, and that'll come with experience. But he certainly looks like someone that that Ian could say, well, look, we're going to hang our hat on this guy for a while and work with him and develop him.
Absolutely. We were just saying he's played a very big part in a successful Irish under-17 campaign over the last couple of weeks. Has done exceptionally well. Screen being moved here. So this is the end of the Interpro Series, Ted. Leinster having won the T20, the 50 over format, looking to get the treble here.
Yeah, I mean, look, no matter what you kind of dissect it or analyse it, it's been a pretty good season for us, as we said before. We have integrated some new players into the setup, and the age profile of the team is different, so it's important that we keep evolving the whole thing. I think what's been good this year is that we've been put under pressure more than last year in certain games, and I think that's really important for the players, because I mean, when you're out of your comfort zone, whether it be skills wise or situation wise or pressure wise, you find out about yourself. You find out an awful lot more about yourself than when you're in your comfort zone. And I think as a team we've been put under pressure. If you look at that T20 in North Down, on a kind of a tricky enough wicket, let's say, our batters were put under pressure. And the great thing about this side is the depth that it has. You know, when you've guys like Dockrell and Eddie Richardson and Tyrone Kane coming in 8, 9, 10, you know,
it's a luxury that sides would only kill for, really.
It is, but at the same time, I mean, what was really, really pleasing in the 50 over match we played in Rathmines, where, you know, we were under serious pressure, and Lorcan and Sean Terry came in and showed that, you know, yes, we had the lads coming behind them, the Dockerels and people like that, but for Lorcan to play like that, showed maturity, showed a good head in his shoulders.
Just showed what a quality cricketer he is, Ted.
Yeah, and he, again, we speak about tempo quite a lot. He, you know, the way he paced his innings was crucial, and then I suppose it was just pleasing in his...
Big appeal from Dockrell, and he's been given. And so Graham Kennedy departs having scored 28 runs. A well-constructed 28 runs, may I add. That is the 6th wicket to fall. The Northwest Warriors now 225 for 6.
I think looking at that one, Heatley, without seeing a replay, and he maybe a head position where he had fallen overbalanced a little bit, and he ended up playing outside the line of it. So, but what a start for the young fella. You know, he's looked composed, and it's a good sign for the Northwest for the future.
Absolutely. Gets a well-deserved round of applause. You know much about the incoming batsman, Ted?
Absolutely nothing, Heatley.
It's fair enough.
Very good spinner, by all accounts. I did ask my counterpart over lunch, Ian, I said, you know, is this guy bat? He says he's kind of a proper 8, 9, 10. But you never know with these guys. You know, he could be an 8, 9, 10 at home. Over here, he could be a top order batter. So, but as a spinner, we've done a bit of work on him and what to expect.
The incoming bat for the Warriors, Sourav Ranjit. He joins Williams, who has now moved on to 106 not out. Terrific innings. The Warriors 225 for 6. We're in the 64th over. George Dockrell just trapping Graham Kennedy, LBW. Important breakthrough that from a Leinster Lightning perspective. Change of field. Leg slip comes into play. In comes Dockrell. Nicely pushed back down the ground. No run.
I think we should see a little bit of a quiet period now with the loss of a wicket, especially coming up to tea.
Great to be bringing you this broadcast this afternoon. Delighted to have you with us. Leinster Lightning against the Northwest Warriors in a Hanley Energy IP Championship game. Nicely swept for just a single. But gets Sourav off the mark. He'll be glad of that. Joined this afternoon by the lead coach of Leinster Lightning, Ted Williamson. John Anderson continuing his spell from the castle end. In he comes, right arm over the wicket. Left through to the keeper. John Anderson, captain of Leinster Lightning in this his first year as captain. It's been a successful year thus far for John, Ted.
Yeah, I think there's one moment actually, and it's only a small moment that kind of stands out for me. He's obviously scored buckets of runs in all formats, but there was a moment in Strabane when we were playing a 50-over match where he made an unbelievably late decision to not play a ball off a spinner, and it was a real sign of a guy who is just thinking so clearly, making unbelievably late decisions. And even though he didn't score a run off it or play a shot to it, it was a case of he pulled out so late of playing a cut shot that wasn't there. I went, this guy is seeing it like a balloon and making some serious late decisions, good decisions, clear decisions.
Loose delivery that, and gets the treatment.
And that's what you'll get with John, you know. And you know, he's at this stage in his career probably not going to be one of these guys who's going to be overly consistent all the time, but he will bowl you wicket taking deliveries, and that's what he adds. That's his role in this team. Going back to his batting, it was great to see him get a chance against Sri Lanka and acquitted himself well, and obviously he's in the squads going forward, so hopefully he can push on and cement a place there.
Absolutely. Big week for John Anderson and Ireland next week. Very important 4-day game against Hong Kong. We look forward to bringing you that live. It's well fielded. Ted, I'm going to thank you very much for your contribution. It's been great having you, and I wish you well for the remainder of this game.
Thank you very much, Heatley.
Northwest Warriors now 230 for 6. 65 overs gone. George Dockrell continuing his spell from the Dublin Road end. It's a glorious day. Beautiful afternoon here in Malahide this afternoon. The sun is shining. The cricket is good, and to bring even more sunshine to the cricket, I'm delighted to be joined in the commentary box by Andy McBride, the captain of the Northwest Warriors, and of course an Irish cricketer. And I say good afternoon to you, Andy.
Cheers, Hitley. Thank you.
Good to have you. Your thoughts on the game thus far? It's ebbed and flowed a little bit.
Yeah, well, Leinster would have took the first session, so they would have got us 4 down before lunch, but then Sturdy and Orion here put on like a nice wee stand there for half an hour after lunch, and then Graham and O'Ware really accelerated on. O's batted quite lovely here, so he has.
He's batted beautifully, and I thought Graham Kennedy on his debut did very well.
Yeah, he's such a young lad too. I think it's his 17th birthday today. They come in, such a big game, so it is, against that very good Leinster side. They didn't really look out of place.
Hope you've got a birthday cake for him, Andy.
Yes, we've got a birthday
That's
cake for
okay.
him. Yes,
that's all right.
So we have.
Hope he's got plenty of puff to blow out 17 candles.
Yeah, he's got. It didn't really look out of place there.
No,
he dug in well.
Yeah.
He done the simple things right. Just keep knocking around there. Give all as much a strike as possible to senior players. So, no, I was really impressed with him there.
Yeah. We're in day 2 of a 3-day game. It's a Hanley Energy IP Championship game. Leinster Lightning against the Northwest Warriors. Earlier on today, Andy McBride, my guest, won the toss and elected to bat. And having done so, the Warriors move on to 231 for 6. We're in the 66th over. Interested to get your views on the interprovincial season thus far from the Warriors, Andy?
Yeah, it's been up and down. Serious season for us. We've put on really good performances. We've put on some very disappointing performances. But we're always on the learning curve, which is nice. We've got young lads there, as you've seen today. Graham making his debut, done very well. So there's, but no, yeah. Well, our T20s format seems to be our strongest. So it's because we like to hit the ball. So, but through the last few years, I thought 3-day cricket we've come on leaps and bounds from where we started off 4 years ago until where we are now. Has been really, really pleasing. So that's, and then 50 over format is probably the one that all us boys would be most used to, but we've struggled for some reason. So that's probably been our biggest disappointment over the last few years. We haven't got results coming out of that. So
I was just saying to Ian McGregor, though, it's great to see. I think you have 3 under-19 cricketers on your side today.
Yep, 3 under-19 cricketers.
Which is great.
Ross, Graham and Andrew Austin. So it's great. And then you've got, it helps like myself has played a bit of cricket, Sturdy, Youngie and Davy Rankin, and a very experienced pro out here at the batting at the minute. So he's played a number of tests for Sri Lanka. So he's great. No, it's good. It's sort of a good balance, sort of mixture of age. So you've got a few lads just creeping near 30. Then you got sort of like middle-aged boys, and then you got a few youngsters. So it's quite nicely balanced.
What category are you putting yourself in?
Between young and middle.
My guest this afternoon, Andy McBride, skipper of the Northwest Warriors. Got to ask you, Andy, about the recent Pakistan series. Saturday washed out, but Thursday was a disappointing game from an Irish perspective.
Yes, it was disappointing. So it was. Came up against a pretty strong Pakistan lineup, so we just didn't turn up in the day. So and then Saturday was unfortunate; it was washed out because we were really going to try and bounce back into that Saturday's game after first day's disappointing performance. So it was just one of those days.
Next week, another big week for Ireland. Massively important game. This Hong Kong fixture.
Yes,
in the I Cup.
Yes, it's a very big fixture. We've started the I Cup very well. We're 3 from 3. So we're really pushing hard now to make it 4 from 4. And really try and get ourselves in this test match status, which is going to be really, really big for us. And that really comes down to this here as well. So, no, it should be a good game against Hong Kong. So we've played them a few times in T20s. So it'll be interesting to see what kind of cricketers there are in the 4-day format.
Absolutely. End of the 67th over. The Warriors move on to 237 for 6. Williams now 108 not out. Batted beautifully here this afternoon. Timed his innings beautifully. George Dockrell continuing his spell from the Dublin Road end. We're in Malahide Cricket Club, a sun-drenched Malahide Cricket Club, with thanks to our main sponsors, Hanley Energy, terrific sponsors of interprovincial cricket, and we thank them very much indeed for their support. Nicely bowled by Dockrell. I've got to mention the D word to you, the declaration. You probably don't like me asking you this, but it's I suppose it's interesting now that we're down to sort of a 2-day game, I suppose. I'm sure you have a number of thoughts going through your mind.
Yeah, well, look to bat yet for maybe another 15-20 hours. Maybe it depends how quickly we're scoring. But definitely we're going to try and just got to keep building partnerships here, and then maybe from tonight, and then we can really push on, try and set up a good platform for ourselves, leading into tomorrow especially.
Yeah.
So now, if these two boys bat now, you can get another good partnership going, and it's always in your mind, the decoration, but it's got to keep batting here at the minute, I suppose.
Yeah.
So
And is captaincy something you enjoy?
yeah, I enjoy the captaincy. So always get you thinking. So it does. So I've done it since there was no age really. So it was nice from the time Bobby was coach to let me captain the last couple of games of the first season of Leinster Pros, and I've really enjoyed it ever since. So you have your ups and downs as captains, as all captains do, but no, I enjoy it. And a great bunch of lads too, so it always helps.
Absolutely. My guest this afternoon, captain of the Warriors and Irish cricketer Andy McBride. I've got to mention your knock against Sri Lanka. You must have enjoyed that.
Yeah, that was probably my best knocking for Ireland so far. So it was really pleasing. So it was still disappointing that we lost the game. So just had to just went out there. I hadn't really much to lose and just really enjoyed myself, trying to express myself and just trying to keep giving the selectors as much headaches as possible. That's all I can really do.
Absolutely. Good to give those guys headaches. That's what they're there for. Simi Singh into the attack now. Singh plays his cricket with Dublin YMCA, captain of the YMCA side. In he comes, right arm over. Pushed out to point, no single. Richardson gathers and delivers straight back to Singh. Really good and interesting phase of the match this. Probably it's fair to say the Lightning had the better of it before lunch, getting a couple of quick wickets, but certainly since lunch the Warriors have come back really strongly, putting themselves in a very strong position now. 239 for 6. We're in the 69th over. After Hong Kong, Andy, we're up to your neck of the woods.
Yeah.
Couple of T20s.
Yeah, up to Beauty for a couple of T20s, which should be exciting. So it should hopefully Northwest crowd come together and give us great support, as they normally actually do. So no, it should be fun. So we got to worry about this 4-day game first, all same, and then enjoy the last T20 games then for our summer here in Ireland.
And tell me, what does the winter hold for Andy McBride? What do you do throughout the winter now? Is training becomes a key priority? Do you go away and play a bit of cricket? Have you anything lined up at this stage?
Well, we've got a tour coming up to South Africa now in the end of September, and we've got games in India after Christmas, after New Year, late February or early February maybe. Up to that there, I actually don't know what the schedule is, so just got to play it by ear.
That's a really exciting series, that Afghan series in India, a 9-match series. And certainly if the series in Stormont is anything to go by, it'll be full of punch and it'll be a really exciting series. I'm looking forward to that, as I'm sure you are. Yes,
of course. I personally look forward to most series. It's not every day you get to represent your country, so no, that should be another great series against the Afghans. The one in Belfast I thought was a fantastic series.
It was a terrific.
So I reckon 2 each draw was probably a fair result in the end up. So it was, because they played some good cricket, we played some good cricket. Just seemed to swing either way. And then now India's out in India conditions should be testing. So I reckon.
You played out there before?
Yeah, we had our T20 World Cup.
Oh, of course, of course.
Out there, so
yeah.
Then should be not a good series, but most importantly is just for us to get ourselves mentally prepared, come up to that series. So whatever leading up to that, we gotta get ourselves going. But now India should be fun, should be challenging for both teams. So because we've got 2 good teams on offer, and I'm sure the Indian public as well will come and support it because they're cricket crazy.
Yeah, and I think they have a soft spot for us Irish.
Yeah, they over in India they kept saying it's their second team after India. so which is pleasing. So
Yeah.
hopefully we get a good crowd in them games and come and support us.
Couple of billion of them, Andy.
No, it'd be nice,
Wouldn't it?
Yeah.
I tell you. It'd be fantastic. Andy McBride, my guest this afternoon. Delighted to have him alongside me. Day 2 of a 3-day Hanley Energy IP Championship game. Leinster Lightning against the Warriors. Very strong start to the game from Leinster, picking up early wickets, but since lunch it's really been one-way traffic. The Warriors have come out after lunch, batted exceptionally well and moved on at a brisk pace as well. 241 for 6. We're in the 70th over. Got to also ask you, Andy, about the club scene in the Northwest. It's massively exciting this year in terms of who's going to be crowned league champions. There's about 4 or 5 of you in the running at this stage.
Yes, I think there's 5 teams actually in the running for it. Eglinton's sat nice and pretty at top. I think they're 4 points clear. But a lot of teams have game in hands ourselves. We've got 5 games still to play. 2 on Eglinton. So if we won the both games in hand, we'll be joint top of them. We still have each other to play, which should be, yeah, it can go either way. This all depends on the weather as well. Like the weather has been great this over the last month and a half or so. It's so hard to get games in. So like the weather could of course come down to a factor.
And who are give me the 5 teams in contention?
We've got ourselves, Ardmore, Eglinton, Big 8 and Korean out of 5 teams in contention. But you're only a couple losses away from maybe in the playoff as well, from going down to Division 2. So it's exciting. It could swing either way.
Tell you, I find it hard to get my head around the fact that Strabane won't be playing Division 1 cricket next year.
Yeah, it's quite disappointing. Not to be fair, because it's one of the better grounds around the Northwest. So it's going to be harder for young fellas, because you want their best grounds on senior 1 league. So because it's going to be quite harder, and it's going to be quite harder. No, it's disappointing. So they haven't. I don't know what's going on. 2 years ago they were league champions, and
the crown champions in 2014.
Yeah, 14, and 2 years difference, and then sadly they've got relegated.
I suppose it's the nature of the sport that we love, mind you.
Yeah.
You know, you're on top 1 minute and you're chasing your tail the next. It's the nature of the sport. Andy McBride, captain of the Northwest Warriors, in with me this afternoon. You got to be happy with your boys currently. 242 for 6.
Yeah, we're sitting in a pretty position here. So there's hopefully these 2 lads here now can bat on to T, and then maybe accelerate a wee bit more after T then. Try and get ourselves up to possibly 300, above 300 as quickly as possible. So we will.
Good bit of feeling there from Dockrell. Driven into the covers, but Dockrell, using all his guile and experience, cutting off the single. I think one of the exciting things about the T20 games in Breedy against Hong Kong is the fact that the Irish women's team are going to be playing on the same day. I think that it's going to make for a really good spectacle. We've got the women in the morning, followed by the men in the afternoon. Great idea.
I think it's a fantastic idea. You get to see 2 games in the one day. You get to see the Ireland women playing, and then followed by the Irish men. Hopefully that they're bringing along an our crowd. So it could be a great day out for families and stuff like that there.
Absolutely.
So it could. So hopefully weather's good to us, and hopefully we have a couple of good days.
We want good northwest weather. Can you help us there, Andy? Can you switch the sunshine tap on?
You don't usually get it, so.
Well, you make sure you get at those fixtures now. In comes Dockrell. It's just pushed out for another single. The score going on to 243 for 6 now. We're in the 72nd over. It's been a really good spell since lunch for the Warriors. They've come out with real intent. Done very well. Dockrell bowling from the Dublin Road end. In he comes. Just push back the wicket to him. Andy, I'm going to say thank you very much indeed. I greatly appreciate you coming to chat to us. It's been great having you. Andy McBride, captain, of course, of the Warriors, and such an integral figure in the Irish men's team. And we wish you and your colleagues all the best, not only today and tomorrow, but next week in that hugely important game up in Stormont. And we're broadcasting that, so I look forward to chatting about you taking wickets and scoring runs and catching all sorts of wonderful catches. So I wish you well, and thank you very much, Andy, for coming in.
Cheers, thank you, Healy.
Andy McBride there, delighted to have him with us. As the players come off for tea, I'm thrilled now to have an old friend of mine, great old cricket man. Should perhaps drop the word old and just say a great cricket man, manager of Leinster Lightning and a great Leinster Cricket Club man. And I say a very good afternoon to Mark Jones.
I say good afternoon back to you, Healy. How are you?
I'm very well now that we're broadcasting, and particularly now that we're broadcasting it's been a good afternoon session thus far.
It's been a very good session of cricket for the Warriors, all right. I don't think we've bowled particularly well, but it's been a good session. It's good to get some cricket played as opposed to yesterday where it just rained.
Yeah. Your thoughts on the game thus far? 72 overs gone, the Warriors 243 for 6.
It's evenly balanced. I think we probably should have done a bit better with the new ball this morning. That's when the wicket was at its... probably you're going to take wickets. If you're going to take wickets today, you were going to take them early doors. And unfortunately, we only got a couple. We picked up a few then before lunch. And in the afternoon, as you can see, it's just flattened out completely. We probably haven't been consistent enough in our lines and our lengths. But in saying that, I mean, the lads have batted very well. Oran Williams has done very good job, and ably supported by
young Graham Kennedy.
Young
first
Graham
of all,
Kennedy in his first game as well. Yeah. He looked tidy. He looked decent.
Absolutely, a young boy celebrating his 17th birthday.
Did you get him a cake, Heatley?
I didn't, but I will. The skipper of the Warriors has told me they have a cake, which I told him I will be eating.
Oh, fair enough.
Remember, win a signed Interpro cricket bat. To enter, quite simply, retweet #HanleyIPWin. Remember, T's and C's apply, and the competition closes on the 25th of August 2016. For those of you joining us on the live stream this afternoon, can I bid you a very warm welcome? Warm being the operative word. It's a beautiful day here in Malahide Cricket Club. The sun is splitting the skies and the ground is bathed in glorious sunshine.
Makes such a difference, Heatley, doesn't it?
Isn't it extraordinary, Jonesy? 24 hours ago we had brollies and rainmacs and Wellington boots, and here we are today.
I'd nearly come out of retirement. What do you think yourself?
Steady on, lad.
Okay.
Steady on.
Fair enough.
Steady on. Now you're getting a little excited. Mark Jones, of course, manager of the Leinster Lightning side. It's been another good season for you, Jonesy.
It has. Again, we've just been consistent through all formats of the game. We've had our good patches and our bad patches. Like this afternoon, it hasn't been brilliant. We were okay in the morning. But generally, like we have the bigger pool of players to play from, to pick from, I should say, and they've played consistently well all during the summer. So we're 2 out of 3, and it looking more and more like 3 out of 3 as the day goes on today. Like, obviously a draw suits us. We've got a few bonus points in the bag already, so unless something catastrophic happens in the next 2 sessions, I think we'll have all 3 in the bag. So to win back-to-back trebles, I think it's brilliant. And this year, if we do manage to do it, either get a draw or get a win the next day or so, it'll be the first time we've gone through a season unbeaten, which is another stepping stone. It's another something that we aim to do. You know, you have to set yourself targets, whether there be like we're reigning champions across all 3 formats, so we've retained them. So this year we've gone through unbeaten. Next year, I suppose, we'd like to retain all 3 again, but maybe win every single game. You know, you have to set some sort of targets for the guys to try and reach.
And tell me, is there anything this season in particular that has given you real pleasure? I mean, I know you've won the T20 and you've won the 50 over competitions, but is there one moment, one game in particular that stands out for you?
Ask me an easy one. We played most of our cricket during May, and I've been on holiday since then, so I've forgotten a lot of it. Nothing really stands to mind. I think we've rotated the squad quite well. We've picked a lot of young guys when we've had the opportunity to do so. The old, stalwarts have still been there. You're never going to replace someone with the heart and soul of John Mooney in a side, but I think it comes on. I think John has done an excellent job as captain. He's got obviously massive shoes to fill coming in after John. Obviously, you've poached John from us. We won't thank you for that, but what can you do? But there's not one thing I could put my finger on. I think it's just the consistency that we've shown all throughout, not just this year, but in the 4/5 years of the tournament itself. We've always been the most consistent side.
One of the questions that we are regularly asked on our broadcast is the role of a modern cricket manager. So I'm going to pose the question at you. So you tell me, what you do. Let's start with today. You arrive on the ground 2 hours prior to kick-off?
Again, ask me an easy one here, Hately, for God's sake. To define the role is from General Agony and to General Dog's Body to someone who can use a skyer and a mitt to someone who just either gets in the way or gets out of people's way, depends on what's necessary. I would just try and make sure everyone's organised, make sure everyone has the right kit, make sure everyone's here on time. If they're not, why aren't you here on time? I'm the kind of the first point of contact on match days in terms of the logistics. I tell people when to arrive, so I would have sent an email off last weekend just telling people to be here at a specific time, what time we have to be out on deck at with our S&C guy, what happens after that, and you basically play it by ear. There's certain things that I won't do for them because you don't want to spoil them too much, whereas other things that I probably do a little bit too much of. So again, it's just finding the right balance, the right mix, getting on well in the dressing room, knowing when to be in the dressing room and knowing when not to be in the dressing room, I think is even more important. But just generally being there, to talk to them if necessary, to just make sure everyone's okay.
Is it something you enjoy? Have you been manager since the start, Jonesy?
Yeah, I've been here since its inception. It is something I enjoy. I wouldn't do it otherwise. It's like just talking to Max there. I've taken 13 days holidays again this year to manage the side. So it's obviously a big commitment from me to do it. So I wouldn't do it if I didn't enjoy it. So yeah, I've enjoyed it, and I'll hopefully continue to enjoy it. Days like this, as you know yourself, sun shining, where would you want to be? Would I want to be sitting here talking nonsense to you, or would I want to be sitting in the office looking at the market?
I think I know the answer to that one. My guest this afternoon, Mark Jones, manager Leinster Lightning. We're at tea, and the Northwest Warriors, having won the toss earlier on today, elected to bat, and having done so, have moved on to 243 for 6 after 72 overs. It's fair to say probably the Lightning had the better of the morning's play, but since lunch it's really been one-way traffic. Jonesy, it's been the Williams show, perhaps.
Yeah, he's batted very well. He's batted extremely well. It was a chanceless 100. As soon as he got to 100, he gave us a chance, but we didn't take it, unfortunately. But no, he's been very good. He's got a few runs against us in the past. He looks like a well-organised player. And I hope he comes back in next year. I'm not sure which club he's with, actually. Is he?
I will give you the answer to that in just a minute. All I know is it's extraordinary. There are 5 Jamaicans, all from the same club, all playing in the Northwest League. Extraordinary. They all play with St. Catherine's in Jamaica.
Wow.
Yeah, it's an amazing little stat. But that's the way it is. So today and tomorrow are the final 2 days of the season for you?
They are, yes.
And what do you do during the winter? Are you a golfer? Are you a rugby man? A Gaelic man? Because I know you love your sport.
All sports in general. I do enjoy the odd round of golf. Unfortunately, I don't play as well as you, Heatley. I don't play as often as you either, unfortunately, because you don't ask me out that much. But always available. I enjoy all sports. I suppose I go to the races quite a bit. I would go watch soccer. I'd go watch Gaelic football and rugby. I work in Ballsbridge, so I'm just around the corner from the RDS. I would pop over there some 3 or 4 times a year, watch a couple of games. I try and spread myself around so everyone gets a bit of the love.
Very important to share the love.
Absolutely.
Wise words. Mark Jones with me this afternoon, the manager, of course, of the Leinster Lightning. Leinster Lightning, as Mark has said, just require, is it 4 points from this fixture to be crowned champions in all 3 formats?
Kind of, yeah. We are 3 points behind the Knights, so obviously 4 would get us ahead of them. But the Warriors were 11 points, I think, ahead of the Warriors. So jigs and reels, 4 points should do it once we don't lose.
Okay.
But if we do lose, all hell will break loose.
I don't fancy, you talked about being in and not being in the dressing room. I think I'd stay out of the dressing room if that were the occasion.
It would be a wise choice.
Yeah, I would have thought so. For those of you just joining us on the live stream, can I say a Céad Míle Fáilte to you? It's great to have you. We love bringing you this broadcast. It's the Hanley Energy IP Championship game between Leinster Lightning and the Northwest Warriors. Day 1, unfortunately a complete washout, and we're at tea on day 2. The Warriors 243 for 6 after 72 overs. Williams undefeated on 112.
All-Ireland final Saturday, Heatley. Who'd you fancy?
Wait. It's a really good question because we've just been talking about that earlier, Jonesy. And I've just got to mention the 2 games before I answer that question.
You're giving yourself a lot of time to think here.
I certainly am, but on Saturday...
A little bit unfair.
On Saturday we've got Waringstown against Merrion in Clontarf, and on Sunday I've just got to mention the National Cup final as well between Laois Cricket Club and Rush Cricket Club.
And are you streaming both games?
Yes, we are indeed, and really looking forward to it.
Excellent.
Can't wait. In answer, who do I think will win? Well, as you know, both sides contested last year's final, which really was a very one-sided affair.
It was.
Yeah, Waringstown came out on top in that encounter. An encounter played at the Lawn, Waringstown's home ground.
Now, you're talking very slowly and a roundabout, very sort of way. Can you answer the question, please?
I can.
In an interview process now, you'll be struck off.
I want to give you my reasons for giving you the answer. I was mentioning that last year's final was a home fixture for Waringstown. This year we've got a neutral venue, and not that I'm from Leinster, but I'm actually going to plumb for Merrion. I mean, they're 2 great sides, Joneses. They're 2 powerhouses in Irish cricket. It's hard to see a chink in the Waringstown batting lineup.
He's not county, isn't he?
Who?
Chink.
You smart pants, you. Yeah, I mean, when you look at both sides, it's a fantastic batting lineup, and also, I suppose, it's a very strong spin attack. You'd have to say that Waringstown have.
Correct.
You know.
Yeah.
But Marion do have a love affair with the All Irelands. They've been in, I think, 5 finals, won 1, lost 4. But I just have a sneaking suspicion that I know they're up for this in a big way. I was talking with Dom Joyce, captain of Marion, who probably has Marion in every part of his body. He bleeds Marion. He's a wonderful Marion man, a great Marion family they are. And I know Dom is quietly confident, and just for a couple of reasons. I think getting Waringstown down to Clontarf, the wicket perhaps won't be quite as spin friendly as they're used to in the lawn. But I think it'll be a cracking game. But for me, I'm predicting Marion. Now, you.
Well, I was just going to ask, is this the first time it's been a repeat final in the 30-odd years of it? I think it is, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a really good question. I
know Leinster got to the final back-to-back in 96 and 97 maybe. We lost both of them, but they were against different oppositions.
Obviously, County won 5 over a very short period of time as well. I
can't remember a repeat final, though, against the same oppo.
No. It's a very different Marion side. It's the 10 of the 11 for Waringstown will probably line out on Saturday.
Yeah, well, is Dennison going to be fit?
Don't know. We'll wait and see. And of course, he had a wonderful knock for the Knights against the Warriors.
Double 100, only the second in Interborough history. So fair play to him.
Fantastic. Anyway, who are you gonna plumb for?
Heart says Murray and head says Waringstown.
Okay.
I just think Waringstown's batting will be a little bit too strong. Like they have quality all the way down. You've got someone like Carl McCallum coming in 8 or 9 for them, who can he's still a bit of a class act even with the bat. I think they might just be a little bit too strong. I hope Marion do it. I know a lot of the team. Obviously, there's 3 or 4 of them in the dressing room with me on a regular basis. So I would like to see them win it again. But as I say, I just think Waringstown would have a little bit too much for them. But as you say, Heatley, getting Waringstown out of the lawn, out of the NCU, that could be a deciding factor to them.
Well, I think it certainly will be a factor. Whether it's the deciding factor, only time will tell. But I want to talk briefly about the National Cup, which is a fantastic occasion for the 2 clubs involved.
Absolutely. I was talking to Roland Bradley only last week or the week beforehand. They're not doing great in Division 4. Division 3, sorry, you're correct. But they played something like 12 cup games this year, and they've won all 12.
Well, it's an extraordinary achievement.
They won the Senior 2 Cup.
Back to back. That takes some doing.
Yes, absolutely.
Because that is a very difficult...
I can't remember the last time Leinster Cricket Club have won the Senior 2 Cup.
Well,
hasn't happened in my lifetime there anyway, I don't think.
Yeah, I mean, it's a really difficult cup to win.
It's very difficult, especially when teams like YM load their team all the time, you know?
Well, it's just when you've got the talent that YMCA have, you just... move on and move
churn
on.
it out on request.
Absolutely. No, but it is extraordinary because you will see Laois pretty much near the bottom of Division 2 and Rush are at the bottom of... Laois the bottom of Division 3, Rush are at the bottom of Division 2. So their league form belies their cup run. And again, I'm going to ask you, Laois or Rush?
I'd say I'll be back-to-back for Rush as well. I'm going to repeat champions of both competitions. I just think Rush would have too much quality for them, to be honest with you. Shahid, Tipu, Stephen Donnelly, just to name a few. I think they'll just have too much with the bat. And, whether it be batting first or second, they could chase down whatever score Laois post. And they would set, I think, too big a task for Laois to chase.
I also think Laois are blessed with Alan Butterley as a captain. He's a smart cricketer.
Yeah,
knows his cricket.
I've known Alan since we were 9. Yeah. We were playing against Alan all those years ago. Black and white back then. I think you had hair as well, did you?
Not much, but
yeah, you did have a bit.
A little bit.
It was flowing.
Yeah, it was flowing. Yeah, it was a bit of a locks merchant.
They've Alan Eastwood as well, who
exactly.
He was a difficult man to face even these days.
Yeah. And one of the interesting things about Eastie is the fact that he has coached so many of the Laois side.
Of course, yeah.
It's fantastic.
Yeah, absolutely.
Fantastic.
Great to see it come through.
Yeah, absolutely.
We pride ourselves on service excellence, quality and innovation, dedicated to partnering with world-class achievers. Our energy management systems can achieve sustained energy reductions with zero impact on operations. Critical power and data center environments demand 100% uptime. We provide customized solutions using thousands of products, including Powerhive, our very own server room in a box for the office environment. Hanley Energy, bringing you the Interprovincial Series.
We're here in Malahide Cricket Club on Dublin's north side, one of the most beautiful and picturesque cricket grounds in the country. It really is. On a day like today, I'm sure all cricket grounds look beautiful, but this really is a special place, Jonesy.
Oh, it's beautiful. Absolutely lovely here. It's one of the few grounds left with a few trees.
And
most places have to cut them down.
It's beautiful. And lovely to see the upper pitch full of so many youngsters. Young
it was
boys and
great.
girls.
There's probably more watching that game earlier on than was watching the Interpro.
Yeah, lots of young boys and young girls in the middle of their cricket summer camp here in Malahide Cricket Club. And
to be that young again, Heatley, eh?
Yeah, fantastic. Fantastic. My guest, Mark Jones, manager, Leinster Lightning. Umpires David Bradley and Azam Ali Beg just make their way back out to the centre. As you can see, you can win a signed Interpro cricket bat. To enter, simply retweet hashtag Hanley IP win. Terms and conditions apply, and the competition closes on the 25th of August 2016. And welcome back to Malahide Cricket Club. It's a beautiful evening here. We're in day 2 of the Hanley Energy IP Championship game between Leinster Lightning and the Northwest Warriors. Earlier on today, Andy McBride, skipper of the Warriors, won the toss and elected to bat. 243 for 6. We're about to commence the 73rd over. And to bowl the first over after tea, one of the finest cricketers that Ireland have ever produced, Kevin O'Brien. In he comes from the Castle End. O'Brien to the not-out Centurion. Williams, 112 not out. Kevin O'Brien, no stranger to centuries himself. Who will ever forget Bangalore? In comes O'Brien. Right arm over the wicket. Williams on the back foot, just pushes it into mid-wicket. No run. Score remains on 243 for 6. Slip gully. Man on the extra cover boundary. O'Brien dropping it short. Williams beautifully getting inside and hooking that for 4 runs. It's another 4 to his total and another 4 to the Northwest Warriors total. Williams 116 not out. The Warriors 247 for 6. Beautiful evening here in Malahide Cricket Club. I see lots of children making their way to the netted area. Lovely evening for nets. Lovely evening to be watching cricket. Ball back with Kevin O'Brien now. And in he comes from the castle end. Williams on strike. Just leaves it through to the keeper, Lorcan Tucker, who just recently has been announced in the Irish T20 squad, and many congratulations to Lorcan. Terrific achievement on his part. Wonderful young cricketer. John Anderson, the Leinster Lightning skipper, standing aside him at first slip. In comes O'Brien. Williams gets right behind it, just pushes it back to the bowler. 247 for 6 now. We're in the 73rd over. It's been a really good afternoon for the Northwest Warriors. They came out after lunch and batted with real intent. No doubt they'll be possibly looking to post a score in excess of 300. In comes O'Brien. Played to mid-on. Tector gathers. Couple of excitable groundsmen. I love a vocal groundsman. And I want to welcome Mark Jones back.
Did you miss me?
Oh, enormously.
Good. You're only human. Good year for YM so far.
Yeah, it's been an interesting year. Jonesy, it has. We got to the final and won the Leinster Senior Cup. Got to the semi-final of the All-Ireland Cup, beaten in a really good game, a game I enjoyed very much against Marion.
It was a good game, yes.
Yeah, it was a good game. Really enjoyed it, and well done to them.
League form's been a bit patchy though,
yeah,
isn't
it has been. It has been, and we've a massive weekend ahead of us, I suppose. We play Marion in a rescheduled league game, which is T20.
Friday night?
Yes, in Claremont Road, and then we have Railway Union on Sunday, again in
Caldwell
Claremont
Lane
Road.
or?
No, Claremont Road.
Oh.
Yeah. So, big weekend. It's a big weekend, I suppose. Just hit out to deep square leg. Fielder gathers the ball, returns it to keeper Tucker, to Anderson, to Richardson, and it should be back to Dockrell. So yeah, it's been a sort of well, it has been a good season, I suppose. One of the things that we try to do as a club is every year see if we can bring a youngster or two on into our first team, and
Alan Lewis been the example this year, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Lou Dog, one of the
Silver Fox keeps on rolling them back. Smell a medal, and he's, geez, we could win another cup final here. Huh?
Yeah, well, he's
performed. You can't argue.
Absolutely.
You can't argue.
Absolutely, yeah. But no, couple of
who's impressed you of the younger lads this year, Heatley?
Well,
son Harry.
Yeah, Harry's had a really good season. I think he's taken 22 wickets now. So
bowled really well from what I've seen.
Yeah, he has bowled well. Bowled really well on Sunday, I have to say, and bowled well right throughout the Irish Senior Cup. And Harry is still under 16, so he's a very young boy. Of course, I've got to mention Sam Murphy.
I was just about to mention Sam,
He's been terrific, Jonesy.
With gloves and bat?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. His keeping has gone up just several notches. Done ever so well. Sam is now on the Irish under-17 side, and so there are not that many clubs who can say they've an under-16 and an under-17 batting 4 and 5 in the firsts and contributing handsomely on a weekly basis now.
Not many parents can say their sons are captain of the under-19s and under-17s on either side.
Well, I thank you for.
I'm amazed your head can fit into that still.
Well, of course.
Sensational effort.
Yeah, well, of course it is, and
Anita must have some great pedigree.
Well, I suppose I've got to mention the two granddads. My own dad played rugby for Ireland and was a scratch golfer all his life, and Anita's dad has 3 hurling All-Ireland medals. So, 2 good granddads, Jonesy. And
so what happened to one in the middle?
Yeah, well, I think
skips a generation.
I think that's exactly.
You got
what
me
it
out
is.
once though.
I did. I remember it well too. I think I'm still celebrating.
You're not the only one. I have nightmares still, mate.
Oh Lord, I remember that. They were great days. Used to such happy memories.
I was only talking to Louis about the old pavilion in YM. I think the word kip was used a couple of times.
But
character.
Yeah, well, I'd also use that. It was
the showers were mentioned.
Yeah, I'm sure you're going to talk about the floorboards in the showers, which well, there were no floorboards come the end of its day, I suppose.
Then there was that toilet at the back.
Yeah, but I suppose no different.
That would scare young children these days.
But I suppose no different to that legendary pavilion in your own beloved Leinster Cricket Club.
Oh, it was never that dirty in fairness.
No, but
it was old.
It was old. It was great, though.
Place of character, though.
Yeah, absolutely. Loved it.
Oh, slashed
Flashing
away
hard
over gully there.
Yep.
4 down to third man. Vacant third man area.
Another 4 for Williams. Another 4 to the total. Williams moves on now to 121. The Warriors moving on to 253. Williams has been really impressive here this afternoon. Came to the wicket when the Warriors were in a spot of bother, but has delivered very handsomely for his side and delivered at pace as well. In comes Kevin O'Brien. An opportunity here, and an opportunity taken. Just spooning it to mid-on there.
Golden Arm does it again.
Absolutely.
And they have a great innings from Williams in fairness lately.
Superb.
Batted very, very well.
He did. He batted beautifully. Williams departs having scored 121. Bowled Kevin O'Brien, caught Jack Tector. They'll be glad to see.
He used the reverse cup for that catch, Aitley. Is that something you taught him?
No, mind you, he's been. He is a good catcher of a cricket ball, Jack. And no, I was a brutal catcher of a cricket ball, Jonesy. I didn't know whether to go up, down, sideways, backwards.
He must have got the catching from the hurling grandfather then, was it?
Absolutely, yeah. A great round of applause there. Terrific innings from Williams comes to an end. 121.
Is that Youngie gone in, is it?
Yep, it sure is. Another very experienced cricketer.
He's been a bit of a thorn in our side over the years. He's obviously bowled very well against us, but he's also got a few at the bat. He's got an annoying few at the bat on a semi-regular basis. 20s and 30s when you're expecting him to roll over, you know.
Well, I suppose he's an experienced cricketer, Jonesy, at this stage. He is a vastly experienced cricketer. Played a lot in the UK, has obviously played a lot up in the northwest, and now very much an important part of the Irish setup as well. Craig Young about to face his first ball. John Anderson just saying hello to him, making his way back into first slip. In comes Kevin O'Brien.
Interesting fielder, Heatley.
Yeah,
one slip and two gullies.
Yeah, absolutely. Young just leaving it through to the keeper.
Man in a short mid wicket as well.
Yeah, it's an interesting field. The word attacking comes to mind.
You'd like to think so. 6 down, just a wicket gone.
Got to ask you, do you miss playing cricket at all now, or you just enjoy watching it?
I do not miss playing at all. I gave up 3 years. This is my third season out now. I think that was a drop, Heatley, was it?
No, I'm not. Hard to see from here. I thought.
I think that was dropped, was it, Scott? I just think young Terry looked a little bit annoyed. But sorry, getting back to your question, Italy. No, I don't miss it at all. I prefer being this side of the rope, which I thought a little bit strange myself. I thought I'd miss it a lot more than I do, but I gave up before I completely hated the game, I suppose, which was probably the right time. I played a long time, so you also say that you're a long time retired, which is true, but you're also killing yourself if you're not enjoying it. You know, it was too much of a drain on me, and I thought it was the right time to pack it in when I did. But the advantage of not playing means that you get to see a lot more cricket.
And you're a wonderful spectator of cricket. I'm
a selector as well, so
yes,
I have to go around and watch games. But the advantage that you have, and I think the technology we have these days is great, even with the Leinster website, the live cricket score. That if I want to go watch a particular bowler or watch a particular batsman, I don't have to, ring the ground or just turn up and hope that they're either batting or bowling, whatever I want to see. I can just look and see what's going on. Obviously, I'll be in the car and on the way up to one of the grounds anyway. But I can change my mind at the last minute, and I can pop into Marion if necessary if I want to see someone bowl there or someone bat there, or I can pop my head into YM and see what's going on, which has just been it makes life so much easier.
It's another 4 to the total.
I think this guy, Sri Lankan, was on tour with was it the full Sri Lankan squad?
Yes.
He was in.
Yep.
Was he in the tour party that was here? Was it?
Yes, I think so.
And he stayed behind his prime with Coleraine now.
Yeah. But obviously a very good cricketer. I believe a good.
I was talking to Andy Scrah about him there about half an hour ago before I came over to you, and he said, yeah, he rates him nearly as good as himself.
Well, that's high praise.
Very high praise.
Absolutely. Dockrell just wrapping him on the pads there, but no appeal. The Warriors 259 for 7. Leinster no doubt will be looking to wrap up these final 3 wickets as quickly as possible. I was
Under 275 would be nice now. Sorry to interrupt you.
No, I was talking to well bowled. Well bowled, nicely played. Randive just hanging on to the strike. Yeah, no, I was talking to the Warriors skipper about the declaration. He seemed pretty keen on getting 300 runs. 40 light of that as we speak, so all will be revealed very shortly.
That's our third bonus point as well, though.
Lightning, no doubt, very keen to take the decision out of his hands and take these final 3 wickets as quickly as possible. Kevin O'Brien continuing his spell from the Castle End, having taken a wicket in his last over. In he comes. Nicely played. Pushed out to Tyrone Kane. It's just a single.
So after this weekend, Heatley, have you any more live streaming?
Yeah, we've a busy couple of weeks ahead of us, Jonesy. We're doing the live broadcast of both the All-Ireland and the National Cups. They take place this coming Saturday and Sunday in Clontarf Cricket Club. Love to see as many there as possible. From there we move up north for a really important fixture, the I-Cup game against Hong Kong. And the following week then we move up to Derry, where the Irish men's team will play Hong Kong in a T20 series and the ladies will play Bangladesh in a 4-match series. So yeah, lots of cricket to cover and lots of cricket to bring you.
Excellent. I hope you have your long johns packed for the Derry trip.
Yeah.
Derry in September.
I'm talking to Scrah about that, and he's assured me he's going to switch on the sunshine tap.
All right.
So I've no fears or concerns there.
I thought that broke about 3 or 4 years ago.
Well, maybe they're going to deliver some lovely weather. Fingers crossed.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely.
I think it's a great idea on the part of Cricket Ireland to have the Irish women play their T20 international against Bangladesh in the morning and the men against Hong Kong in the afternoon.
Absolutely, yeah.
It's terrific.
Good day's cricket.
Yeah, absolutely. Of course.
That's in Breedy, is it, Heatley?
Yes, it is indeed, Jonesy. Yeah, that's where we're heading, and we look forward to bringing you those games. Really important
You might
series.
be behind last there
yeah, it'll be in. No, I was
so
only
you might need the long johns.
I was just thinking about that actually earlier on today. Just thinking of our Breedy location.
Thinking of your retire. I can tell you today, if you haven't seen photographs, Heatley is actually just wearing normal blue jeans. I've known Heatley a long number of years, and I think this is the first time I've ever seen him in normal blue jeans.
To quote the words of Neil Diamond, forever in blue jeans. Sloppy work there on the part of the Lightning. Possibly shouldn't have been 2, but well run on the part of the Warriors. Craig Young on strike. Kevin O'Brien, the bowler. My guest, Mark Jones, manager, Leinster Lightning. The Warriors now 263 for 7. We're in the 77th over. O'Brien to Young. Young just pushing it into mid-wicket. No run. Just saying to some of our earlier contributors, it's sort of hard to believe we're very much in the back end of another domestic cricket season, isn't it?
Absolutely flown by, isn't it?
It has, absolutely. They, you look forward to them.
I feel like it was only 2 weeks ago that we started off out in the hills with our first game, so it's been...
Yeah.
So in terms of YMCA's league position, what do you need to do? Are you safe?
No, far from it. We have 3 games remaining.
And whereabouts are you in the league?
We are 6th.
Of
As
8.
you know,
So
6th of 8, correct, yeah.
second last would be...
Well, second last goes into a playoff, as you know, this year.
that
So
mightn't happen.
we'll wait and see.
Yeah.
All will be revealed. Here's an opportunity. Another catch
Another
for
catch
Tector.
Tector.
Yeah. Pointing at the sun. I don't know what he's pointing at.
More
Maybe-
clouds than sun now,
ma-
isn't it?
That's just peeping through, Jonesy.
Okay. Like he caught it. If he dropped it, I could see him pointing. All right.
And again,
Again, the reverse
Fingers
cup.
up, yeah.
Again, I've no problem with the reverse cup.
yeah. Seems to be the modern way, Jonesy, that most cricketers tend to...
Well, I was always a fan of it.
Okay.
I never liked having the ball go below my eyes when I was on the boundary or on the circle. If I could avoid it, I would always reverse cup and get right
Okay.
under the ball.
Yeah.
Obviously, I spent most of my time with the slip, so it's not often it would come reverse cup unless Hendy Wallace or Carlos Breito was bowling at the other end. But
Got to mention Carlos now, the captain of the West Indian side now.
yeah, fantastic achievement.
Yeah, wonderful, incredible.
I congratulated on him there a couple of weeks ago when I heard the announcement. He's in good form. He's a little disappointed not being in the test side at the moment, but he kind of figures he's always going to miss out if they play the extra spinner. So he's in good form though, and he's looking forward to the challenge. And I think he's in the UK next year. We said we'd go as a group of guys who played with him all those years ago. We said we'd go over to Lords and hopefully see him playing a test match. So we're going to do that next year. I think they're over there start of September maybe. So we're looking forward to popping over to see them. David Scanlon, I do believe, coming in.
Absolutely. Yeah. Dockrell looking to get among the tail-enders here now. David Scanlon and Craig Young. Scanlon on strike. In comes Dockrell. Just fobbed out, pushed out to Eddie Richardson in the covers, no single.
So back to the plight of YMCA. You're lying in 6th,
Yeah.
so you're one place above relegation.
Yeah.
How is it? Who's bottom at the moment still? I don't pay enough attention to the table. Really,
Railway are bottom.
and are they really struggling? Are they gone? There's only really 2 games left for most clubs. Is that be right?
Yes, correct. Exactly. We've a game in hand. You'd have to say yes, they are struggling a little, but as you know better than anyone, Railway are a dangerous side.
Absolutely. And Kevin will be back playing for the rest of the season, I believe.
Possibly so. Yeah. So
Guesting, I believe it.
Yeah.
It's called,
Yeah. So we have Marion, I suppose, in what is possibly a sort of 40-pointer.
Oh,
you
of course.
could say,
Marion are down there with you, aren't they? Yes.
Marion are
yes.
7th and we're 6th. So that's a
So
huge
two
game.
wins will do it for you, you think?
Possibly one even.
Possibly one.
Yeah,
Okay.
but certainly if we win, well, it's a funny thing. I heard some of the guys talking the other night in the club that if we get 2 wins, potentially we could go 4th. So it's...
And that's just how tight that league is, isn't it? And
absolutely,
it's
yeah.
not that it's been a strange season. I've seen Clontarf play a few times, and it looks like they're going to go ahead and win the league quite comfortably. And in fairness, they have been the strongest side on a consistent basis. Surprisingly, they didn't win the Leinster Cup this year or didn't contest the final, which would be the first time that I can remember anyway. And they didn't have a great run in the All-Ireland either, which is unusual. So I suppose being out of both cups early I know from playing, you just when you're playing once a week, it kind of focuses the mind a bit more on the league, because you can tend to lose sight of them if you get a cup run. Even if it's a T20 cup, you can.
Well, I suppose they were unlucky in the All Ireland, a rain affected game, I think, against Estonians. Came down to the wire, and they just came out the wrong side of that. And in the Leinster Senior Cup, we beat them handsomely, really.
Yeah.
Good day for the club that day, but they're a great side, Clontarf, and as you so rightly say, they're top of Leinster League Division 1, and it looks as though, I think, if they win this weekend,
that's it, I think, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Bobby Gamble playing Friday?
No, we won't see Bobby.
Did you not get a flight?
No, we won't see Bobby again this year.
How so?
Tell you now in 1 sec. O'Brien to Young. Young playing it nicely. Well fielded. Well fielded by Max Sorensen there. Diving to his right to prevent the single. No, Bobby's played all his cricket this year, Jonesy, in the UK. Played a lot with Somerset and with Northamptonshire. Played mainly second team cricket, and very keen to cut a career for himself in cricket, and why wouldn't he be?
Absolutely. I thought he was on his way back for the last month or so, though. Obviously it hasn't worked out that way.
Yeah, just I think he looked at it, we looked at it, and it's just one of those things. It didn't work.
Is your to mid-off again? Heatley nearly choked there beside me, but I think he's got a glass of water now. I think he should be okay.
Yeah.
I was going to perform the Heimlich, but
no.
There's too many photographers around for that.
Steady up, pal.
I was just going to ask your normal co-commentator, Mr. Andrew Balbirnie, is he back playing this weekend by any chance? I know he's well and truly on the road to recovery.
I watched last Sunday's game with Balbo. Sat beside him for a long period of the game, and I'm delighted to say that he had major hip surgery, and not just a standard hip
wasn't
replacement.
A replacement.
No. It was
not of that age.
No, he was. He underwent major surgery, and thankfully he's making really good progress. No, I don't believe he's playing this weekend, but he's back hitting balls in the nets again, which is great.
Great.
And I think he's hoping to head to Australia next month for 4 or 5 months cricket.
Yeah, he's gone back to Brisbane, I believe. I was talking to him a few weeks back. He said that was his plan, all right.
Yep, he's keen to get some cricket under his belt. And Ireland will be very glad to see Balbo back. Terrific cricketer.
Probably missed him.
Yeah, absolutely.
You can say we've missed him. His consistency in the middle order.
Absolutely. Really fine cricketer. In comes Dockrell, bowling from the Dublin Road end. No single. Tucker just gathers the ball and throws it to his teammate, Simi Singh.
Simi's done a good job captaining YMCA this year,
terrific. He has, Jones. He's been fantastic.
Will he be doing the same next year?
Well,
confusion.
Oh, chance for a run out there. Missed opportunity there. Real opportunity.
He must have heard that question, did he?
You asked me, will he be captain? I don't know. That's the job of the incoming committee.
Okay.
They decide the skippers. So Dockrell seems to be getting into a nice rhythm here. Jonesy seems to be bowling well.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely.
Got to mention your own beloved Leinster Cricket Club. It's been a really good year for Leinster. It's been a fantastic year, actually.
Absolutely, they've had a great season. They're now top of Division 2. They've gone ahead of Trinity, so you'd like to think that with 2 games left, they're going to get promoted. I think if they get one win in their next, I think if they win one of their last 2 games, they go up as champions, which would be probably deserved. They have been the most consistent side in Division 2. As you alluded to earlier on, we were beaten in the cup final by yourselves, and very well beaten on the day. I think the lads just froze. We didn't get enough runs. 220 wasn't enough on a kind of placid enough wicket. Even with, I still think that Leinster's attack is probably the best attack in both leagues.
I would agree with that. I'd agree with that.
They've 3 really good seamers. You've George then with a bit of spin, and you've Garrett then with a bit of leg spin. So if all 5 come off, and if all 5 are available next year, they're really mounted challenge to any side in Division 1. And obviously they've had a bit of success as well. They won the T20 competition. They absolutely hammered Marion in the final over in the hills about a month or so ago, which is great to see. We haven't won that competition since when we won that. We won the All Ireland in 2009, the same year. That was under Carlos. I think George tweeted a great picture of the then and now. He played in that side back in 2009, and he looked very fresh back then. Very, very fresh and innocent as well. I'd like hasten to add.
Yeah, it has been a terrific year for Leinster Cricket Club, and I would fully endorse your sentiments regarding the Leinster bowling attack. It's been terrific.
I think we're probably still short a batsman, though.
You talked about Craig Young being a little bit of a thorn in the Leinster side. Beautiful shot there, Jonesy.
Very nice. Just length on it. All he needed to do. Didn't try and hit it too hard. Have you enjoyed the commentary, Heatley, this year?
I have.
Is it your first time commentating on cricket?
No, I've done quite a bit of radio commentary, and I suppose this is, if you want to call it TV, because it is a TV broadcast. No, I've done quite a bit of radio stuff down the years, which I love, and I love listening to cricket via the radio medium. I think it's a fantastic medium in which to follow the game.
TMS is great, isn't it?
Oh, there's probably
nothing better.
There's probably no show like it. There's no show like a TMS show. It is fantastic. But in answer to your question, yes, I've loved it. Another quality shot from there. Driven through the covers.
I would say smashed through the covers.
Yeah, beautiful shot. Slightly overpitched, and Young gets on top of it immediately. But yeah, I've loved it. I mean, I'm very privileged. I suppose I've worked.
It's a great service.
Yeah, it's a great service. Thank you. Yeah, I've worked in radio all my life, really, from 16 years of age. So I don't really know anything else. And I love cricket, as you know, and so to be able to combine both my love of broadcast with cricket is it's a privilege. And yes, I thoroughly enjoy it, and I can think of nothing nicer than on a lovely summer's evening in a lovely club like Malahide to be chatting about cricket to
lovely
friends of mine
as well.
Yeah, exactly.
You're just a little slow getting that one across as well.
Steady, lad. You're getting very excited this evening. You're prone to excitement, Jonesy. I know you a long time, son.
We're a wicket away from full bonus points, so I'm entitled to get excited.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Young on strike. Teammate to teammate in terms of Irish cricketers. Kevin O'Brien, Ireland and Leinster Lightning. Craig Young, Ireland and the Northwest Warriors. Young just leaning on the ball there. Soft hands, playing it out to deepish point. It's one run. It's
Would
now.
Mooner's not come out and do a bit of commentary with you, Is
Yeah.
he too busy in the gym?
Yeah, well, he's busy. He's really busy.
Mm.
As you know, he's doing the most fantastic job on the radio show.
He is,
Yeah, he's
absolutely.
brilliant. Well,
Absolutely.
His knowledge of all things cricket is just immense.
Not afraid to answer tough questions
No,
either.
no, he's.
He gave me a bit of a grilling the last time I was on.
Yeah, well, that's his job. But he loves cricket, and he just loves Irish cricket in particular. And he's been such a massive servant of the game.
I think his gym has just moved premises as well, so
Yeah,
obviously
he's busy.
we'd
He's
like to
busy.
wish him all well with that.
Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah.
Healthier Ireland, I do believe it's called.
Yeah.
He's all over Facebook and Twitter with it. So
yeah, he's great. He's a great man.
if you're around the airport area, knock into him.
Yeah. No one like our John Boy. What a servant of the game he was.
I'll tell you to you straight. Anyway,
Yeah.
beating around the bush.
No. He was a man who gave it everything, blood, sweat and tears, no matter what team he was playing for.
He's missed out of the team as well, and not just with his ability with bat and ball, but his heart. I was talking to I work with Jason Mullins, and we're having a bit of a conversation last week about it, about what we need, and his heart has been sorely missed on that side.
Yeah, well, I suppose there are certain near irreplaceable hearts, and possibly he falls into that category.
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely.
Dockrell continuing his spell. The Warriors 272 for 8.
Youngie at it again. Big hit over mid all for 6, over long all for 6.
Quality shot.
Didn't try and overhit it either.
No.
Down the track nicely and just seemed to pop it over the top. Who's on the slog suite this week? Do we have a special this week with the All-Ireland finals?
Very
on?
much so. So we have
All
the
four captains?
all four captains, and also Niall O'Brien.
Niler,
Yeah,
excellent.
so it's a terrific show. Yeah, it's hard to believe it's coming near the end of its yearly run. We've only one weekend, possibly two left.
You'll probably have to have a special for the playoff as well, being such a day. Will you stream the final, the playoff if it happens?
We'll have to wait and see.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll wait and see.
Will I get that splinter, or the fence is starting to buckle?
And why shouldn't it? It's a frightening thought. Young on strike.
You sitting on the fence, or it buckling?
Both. Driven down the ground for one.
Long off back now after that fine shot.
Craig has moved on to 20. Jonesy.
Yeah. Thorn in our side.
Yeah, Scanlon yet to get off the mark. No sooner as I say that, he takes his first single. Young on 20, Scanlon on 1. The Warriors on 280. We're in the 82nd over. This is day 2 of a Hanley Energy IP Championship game between the Leinster Lightning and the Northwest Warriors. Big opportunity, and there's
And a great run out.
next wicket to fall. Terrific bit of cricket that.
That's full bonus points, Heatley.
Meaning?
Oh, meaning it's 4 points.
Meaning?
Puts us top of the table.
Thought you might say that.
Top of the pile where we belong.
Yeah, really good bit of cricket that there, though. Just looking at the Pakistan English ODI score, you might give it to us there, please,
Yeah,
Jonesy?
from the Rose Bowl, started 2 o'clock, so it's obviously day night I got on there. Pakistan are currently 250 for 6 with 8 balls to go there, so looks like a decent total going to be posted.
Possibly 280, yeah.
Yeah,
good total,
absolutely,
yeah.
absolutely.
Good total.
Pakistan chose to bat in that game. We obviously didn't fancy it under the lights, but it probably, you could say the dew will start falling this time of the year, would it?
Yeah,
Ball could get
yeah,
a bit,
it would,
bit
absolutely.
of moisture around
And
later
it's
on.
a bit,
It could reverse.
And they're a very useful bowling attack as well.
As we found out last week. Yeah.
Superb.
Not bad with the bat either, eh?
Absolutely. The incoming batsman for the Warriors, Jared
Barnes.
Barnes. Yeah. Big, tall Jared. In he comes. He's got a big stride on him.
Excuse me?
asking for guard, takes guard. In comes Dockrell, attacking field this.
Arm ball first up. I think he might have just got a bit of bat on that.
Yeah.
It looked pretty straight otherwise.
No, I think he did. Yeah. The toe of the bat, I think.
I think so.
Yeah.
Could have hit a lot of toes actually.
Dockrell again. Barnes just leaving it through to the keeper.
He doesn't strike the fear of God in you with the bat, does Jared. Good bowler, mind you, Barnesy.
Very good bowler.
Difficult to face with his height.
Very good bowler, I think.
Just comes through with that awkward kind of nagging.
Saw him bowl in your 50 over game out in the hills, that rain affected game. I thought he bowled beautifully that day, actually. Really well.
He's tough to score against, obviously, with that extra bit of height. He gets that bit of bounce, and it just comes through with the awkward kind of waist high level. That it's not that easy. You don't know whether to be on the front or the back foot to him, and a lot of the time you end up playing from the crease, which is obviously not the place you want to be. But hopefully now we can wrap this up fairly quickly, and we will have 19 overs left in the day, 2 for the change. Hopefully we'll have 15, 16 overs at them for the evening. Get them a couple down.
Semi-appeal there. Umpire Bradley unfazed. Been impressed with Craig Young, Mark. He's batted well.
Yeah, if you put it in his area, he'll hit it, and if you don't, he'll just leave it or block it. With his experience, he doesn't get phased. He knows the shots he could play, and he plays them quite well. That's one of them, in fairness. He's always been good off the hook. I suppose if he dishes it out, he has to accept that he's going to get a few. So he's probably well used to playing a few off his nose.
Absolutely. Played it exceptionally well, though. Looked as though he had plenty of time to get inside it. A further 2 to his total, a further 2 to the Warriors' total.
Very interesting field now. And 3 inside the circle, or the circle that would be there that isn't. We all know what we mean. 4 on the leg side boundary. And he pongos it straight down the ground for 4. Another great shot from Youngie. He's becoming a bigger thorn by the minute. He's obviously looking for their full batting points up to 300. So I can see him playing a few shots now. The next, I don't think he'll be holding back, Heatley.
No. To say he's looked very comfortable, Mark. He's given himself room when required, and he's driven the ball with consummate ease. He remains on strike. In comes O'Brien.
That was a better bouncer.
Good
better
bouncer.
bouncer.
That, yeah,
better direction. Yeah. Better direction on it.
Just received a notification there from Yaqub Ali. Told me to say hello. Thoroughly enjoying the stream, and hello to you, Yaki. He's had another great year with the Lightning, Jonesy.
He has, absolutely, yeah. He was unlucky to miss out for this game. How are they all down in Kerry? Is he well?
Yeah, he's great. He's a fantastic fellow. He's
so commitment from him to drive up and play for YM every week, and
he's just fantastic.
Does the same for us, obviously.
Yeah, he's and he's a great person with it.
He's a very funny fella.
Also got to say hello to my friends in Waringstown Cricket Club, and as I do that, Craig Young
Just pong another
scores
one over extra
another
cover.
boundary over extra cover for 4. Got to say hello to the Dennison family. Just received a note from them. Hello to all of you, to another great cricketing family. I hope you're enjoying the live stream.
Now, hopefully 6 balls at Jared Barnes here, and that should be all she wrote.
Got to say hello to Mr. and Mrs. D as well. Of course, Adam's dad, Davy Dennison, former great of Irish cricket, camped many times. No doubt he will be down with the Waringstown mob invading Clontarf this coming Saturday, and we wish them all the very best. Dockrell to Barnes. Just prodding at it. Interesting field this as well, Jonesy.
It's near the umbrella field, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, absolutely, yeah. Yeah.
Did they mention if Adam was going to be playing at the weekend?
I don't know, and
Okay.
I'm sure Davy and Jane are looking after him very well. Great parents, great cricketing people. Don't know, but Waringstown have been a little unlucky with an injury to James McCollum as well in the last
Yes,
couple of weeks,
yes.
and to Adam.
Great stop by Tyrone Kane at backward square there.
Yeah.
But Barnes has got off strike, bringing Youngie on strike now. I'd say the field might spread a little bit here. It'll be an outer umbrella as opposed to an inner umbrella. Hopefully George will toss this one up and we'll see some fireworks. My money's on it going down Max Aronson's throat.
In comes Dockrell. Young giving himself room.
A little bit short to go straight with that one.
Trying to squeeze it past point, not doing so successfully on that occasion. Dockrell again.
Reverse
The reverse
Markey.
sweep. Back again to point. Bit of a chuckle from his teammates there. No doubt they enjoyed that.
Absolutely, absolutely. So what will you do in the winter time, Heatley? What sport will be tickling your fancy?
Well, I play a lot of golf, and I don't play any summer golf really, Jonesy. I'm a winter golfer. I try and not miss a Saturday really from mid-September through to the beginning of April.
You're out in Portmarnock, is that
Yeah,
right?
I am indeed. That's my tipple, and I love it. Few cricketers out there, and myself, Louis, Bill Coughlin, a few of us play our cricket out in Portmarnock, and how privileged we are to do so.
I think we've just taken the new ball there as well, Heatley.
Yeah, saw that.
Eddie coming back on now at the top end.
But I'm hoping to have a busy live streaming winter with a number of other sports.
What would they be now?
Well, I think, one of the interesting things about Irish sport, if you take the big 5, I talk of hurling, football, rugby, soccer and horse racing, who are, as you know, the big 5 dominant sports
Yes,
in this country.
absolutely.
If you take the next 10 underneath that, in many cases those sports are...
Hockey?
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. Cycling, a very big sport now.
Triathlon?
There's a lot
Would you include that in
Not
in
really,
cycling?
not
No?
really.
Okay.
Sports like basketball, tennis, badminton. Badminton has got great coverage
Yes,
during the Olympics.
absolutely,
It's been
absolutely.
fantastic. And so these are all sports that we're hoping to do some work for.
Confusion here again.
Confusion here. Chance
Both
for a
at the
run
one
out.
end.
No,
Oh, got away with it. Thrown to the wrong end, I fear.
absolutely. I think Sean Terry, in diving to make a splendid stop at mid-wicket there,
Got a bit confused when he got up.
Yep, easily happen.
Good pick up from Lorcan though, but he'd no chance at the other end, I'm
No,
afraid.
No.
Sean's been another good acquisition for YMCA.
He's been fantastic. Quality cricketer.
Quality fella as well.
Yeah, he is, absolutely. Yeah. And I know his mum and dad only love the live streams living in Australia. And isn't it wonderful for a family such as the Terrys to be able to follow their son with real interest?
Absolutely,
and, yeah.
absolutely.
So, Sean has been great. Loved having him around the club. Barnes on strike, holding his pose.
So, what would you be looking to stream now in the during the winter? What's first up? What's first on the agenda?
Well, I suppose even the big five down the levels do a lot of streaming now, Jonesy. So, Leinster League Division 1 in rugby. Another dead ball there. Umpire Bradley.
Not sure if Eddie's losing his run up there, or
I'm not quite sure. I don't know whether it's...
If he has a bit of a niggle, maybe.
Yeah, possibly so.
I think he was struggling with a nail earlier on.
Okay. He looks slightly laboured there, to tell you the truth. Yeah, you're right. Yeah. No, he is struggling.
His big toes coming off. So.
Okay.
We all know that's a little bit of a painful experience.
Absolutely. Time for the Clippers, Ed. Get it out tonight, son. Northwest Warriors, 291 for 9. Wide delivery. We're in the 85th.
He tried one out of the back of the hand there, it just didn't come off easily, did it?
Well, I think there are few better exponents of the slower delivery, Jonesy. He
normally gets it right. He's normally very good with it.
He has it down to a fine art. Eddie Richardson, North County through and through, and Leinster Lightning. Big appeal!
Maybe they're sliding down leg. The umpire or the bowler wasn't really that interested. He kind of just joined in halfway through the appeal.
I also think it was a little high, Jonesy, to tell you the truth.
Okay.
Yeah. And talking of things a little high, Jared's a high boy. In comes Richardson. Nicely steered, beautifully steered. Should go all the way, does go all the way. Nice shot from Burns there. Stephen Doheny, 12th man for this fixture, coming on and removing the helmets now.
Chaser's coming on this end.
Yep. Homeboy.
And you don't mean in the rapping sense there, I take it, Heatley?
No, I don't. No, a Malahide boy through and through. Played all his cricket here as a young boy, and the club have every reason to be very proud of him.
Absolutely.
Peter Chase, 28 on his back. Customary shine of the ball. Coming into the attack from the Dublin Road end. In he comes.
It's another good shot from
It's
Youngie through extra.
Good shot.
Good pick on under. Happy enough to settle for 2. Keep him on strike. They're only 2 away from the bonus point here, I guess. So,
yeah.
I assume all goes to plan. I think with a draw with full bonus points might take them above the Knights, which I suppose will be one of their goals if they can still win the game. Obviously today.
Absolutely.
Well, not today, but over the 2 days.
Yeah.
would have been reduced to 2 days. The rules are as such that it's now reduced to the follow-on is reduced to a 100-run deficit. So
Great round of applause as the Warriors bring up their 300. 300 for 9. Craig Young on 34. Jared Barnes on 5. Irish seamer to Irish seamer. In comes Chase.
see the Warriors 12th man there. We could be looking at a declaration here. Trying to get a message out, maybe? No, it's just a broken bat potentially.
No. Modern day bats, Jonesy, not as good as they used to make them.
Well, they just make them very big. Back in our day, lad, went very big, but they lasted a long time.
Well, they had to.
They had to, exactly. You couldn't get one bar. Sports Gear, was it? Ronnie
Sports
Byrne?
Gear, yeah. Remember, Tony Leon had the agency for Duncan Fernley at one stage as well, I think. Here's an opportunity.
Should be taken. Sorensen under it.
Yes.
No mistake. End of the innings.
End of the innings. Mark, I'm going to say thank you very much indeed for your contribution over the last number of overs. Again, I wish you and your colleagues in Leinster Lightning all the very best. And if you get a chance, you might drop in tomorrow and say hello.
I certainly will. Thank you, Healy.
Pleasure. Mark Jones there, manager of the Leinster Lightning side. And so the Warriors